it's so great that you're here today. Can you just share about your background and what led you to your businesses that you have today? Like, just who are you?
Well, my name is Roman Bodnarchuk. I'm originally from Toronto, and I went to school here in Toronto, and I went to university at the University of Western Ontario in London, and it was a great experience. I had the best time of my life. But what I found when I got into the business program there was the materials that they were teaching us were 10, sometimes 20 years at a date, and I'd already spent a year working on Bay Street in between high school and university, so I kind of had a real taste of the real business world. And then when I went into the business program, I found it was really not what was happening. So I got a little frustrated, and to make a long story short, started my own business. And since that point, I've really been self-employed all these years. But it was very successful. And then I started another company as a pet food company, which we sold, which is still around today. It was the largest direct sales pet food company in Canada. And from that point, I became obsessed with the internet. And I really felt, it was actually an article in Time magazine in the mid-90s, and it said the internet was going to be the largest industry of our lifetime. And I believed it. So not being a technology person, but being a marketing person, I understood this could be really powerful. So our big kind of claim to fame was a client called Lou Pearlman out of Orlando, Florida. He was starting a band called the Backstreet Boys, and he was a brilliant businessman, knew nothing about the internet, and we were really targeting teenage girls for the Backstreet Boys because we were trying to sell hats and t-shirts and merchandise. It's where the profits are. So we actually built using news groups and chat groups. This is before high-speed internet, before HTML email, before iPhones and Blackberries and all the fun stuff we have now, kind of early days. We built a database of 2 million teenage girls around the world, and we were able to sell over $1 billion of hats, t-shirts, concert tickets in over 100 cities in over 50 countries around the world. They became the fastest selling band of all time. So we actually broke records that Michael Jackson had held, that Elvis Presley had held. So it was really fun.
Staggering.
It was really fun, and it was because it was the first music band ever to leverage the internet to build a fan base. Then we did the exact same thing for the same client, for Lou Pearlman, with another band called NSYNC. That's where Justin Timberlake came from. And we actually did $1.8 billion in sales over a number of years using the same database. So in 1998, I decided to start my own company, which was called, at the time, it was called Net Results Internet Advertising Inc. Kind of a long name. The .com names had just come out, and I wanted short ones. We ended up with N5R.com. So that's kind of where we are today. So 15 years later, I still run N5R, and the company is really about generating leads and using those leads to very cost-effectively sell a lot of products and services. We've helped our clients sell over $4 billion of products and services. We've been most famous for real estate sales. So we've helped condominium developers, for example, sell literally billions of dollars of condominiums cheaper, faster than anyone else. And some of our most exciting case studies are we sold 367 condos in 90 minutes. We did $1 million a minute for 90 minutes in Phoenix, Arizona. But we actually did one-day sales events like that. We've done it over 20 times, sold out $100 million projects in a single day around the world. So today we have a TV show called Condo Show. It's now a national show. It's all about condominiums. And we still help developers go from lead generation to actually helping them sell their projects out in bad markets and good markets. And we do this in 10 countries and 30 cities around the world.
So how do you know Scott, and what excites you about helping him in his work?
Scott is somebody that has made a profound impact on my life. So we met about 20 years ago in my very first business. And when I met Scott, the energy and the passion he exuded was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And what I'm proud to say is 20 years later, he's still as passionate, still as energized as ever. So we worked together in my first business, and I learned so much from him. He was a very successful headhunter, a recruiter at the time. So again, I was 20 years old, just starting my first company. So I learned a lot from Scott, specifically just about marketing and telephone techniques and things that he had mastered in his business. So he really was somebody that I learned a tremendous amount. So when I got the opportunity, when I got the invite from Scott to help him launch some new chapters in his business, I said, hey, let's get together. Maybe there's some ideas we can brainstorm, and maybe there's some ideas that would help you. Because we've been very successful at selling into the corporate market. We've worked with 21 of the top 50 brands in the world. We were agency of record for 21 Procter & Gamble brands. We've worked with Apple and Microsoft and General Motors and Xerox and Johnson & Johnson. I mean, you name it. So the corporate selling model is very different than necessarily selling to just individuals. But I think some of the lessons apply. So I'm here to help Scott in any way I can launch his new business.